G'day folks, I'm Rod Moore and this is the Art Biz Show. Welcome, and in this week's episode we're going to talk about having a sense of mission about what you do with your art business. So you've probably heard business gurus, motivational speakers, people like that in the past talk about the idea of having a mission or a vision for your life. And maybe if you've worked in corporates, they all get together and come up with a team mission. And how does that apply to artists? Is it relevant? I think are pretty important questions. Now, today I was doing a live stream for my Learn to Paint Academy members, and Learn to Paint Academy is one of my main parts of my art business. And I was talking to them about, as I was doing the live stream, we were demonstrating with this painting here, and I was talking to them about how my mission in life is really to spread the magic of painting around the world using the Moore method of painting. So it's something I'm really passionate about. I'm a great believer in, and every day I'm fueled by this desire to want to spread the Moore method of painting out to as many people as I can around the world. And in my mind, I'm thinking over the next decade, that will be millions of people. And I have a real sense of mission about that. I wake up in the morning and I'm on purpose straight away. And I can't wait to get to work to do it. Now, being fueled by a sense of mission like that, I think is really, really important. And it doesn't matter if your art business is purely around you creating artwork and selling it, or around having other aspects of your art business like I do, right? It seems to me that every artist who achieves great things, regardless of the nature of their art business, have done so because they have a real sense of mission about what they're doing. I mean, you think about somebody like Weiland, and if you don't know Weiland, then look him up. He's a good artist. I won't say he's a great artist, like he's not a master level artist who's going to go down in history for his artwork. But what he does have is a real mission in what he does. He's a great environmentalist and loves the ocean, so all the creatures of the ocean like whales and dolphins and things like that. He's very passionate about conservation around the ocean and protecting our marine life and things like that. And all of his artwork is based around that. And so from that core mission of promoting awareness and conservation of the ocean and the marine life, his whole art business is centered around that core mission. And so the paintings that he does and sells, they're usually representative of that mission. He has different charity organizations that attach to his business, protecting the ocean and promoting awareness around conservation of the ocean. He has educational DVDs and programs. And again, they're all around the same central mission. So it's the mission that drives him, and the artwork facilitates him fulfilling that mission. And I think that's a really, really great example. If you look at, say, Bill Alexander. Bill Alexander was the guy who basically developed the method that Bob Ross became famous with, right? Now, whether you like these people or not is irrelevant. Because I know a lot of artists out there, as soon as you say Weiland, Bob Ross, Thomas Kincaid, a lot of artists out there throw up on themselves because they think, they're not real artists. But what they did have is real art businesses that were very successful, right? So you can go and be a broke artist if you want and be pure and all that. Good luck to you. If that's the case, this is not for you, right? What I'm here to talk to you about is how do you build a business around your art and become an affluent, abundant artist, right? Not a starving, struggling, miserable artist, right? Because you can't get by on the average income that an artist earns. I had somebody tell me recently that I was having a conversation with this person and I shared with them my monthly goal income-wise. And they not only spilt their coffee and then informed me that the average income of an artist is only $18,000 a year. And here I was with a goal that was, considerably more than that, right? If that's your mentality that you want to be a pure artist and the money is not important, then why are you watching a video about creating an art business, right? So probably not for you. So if you're going to have a negative reaction to hearing names like Bob Ross and so on, then you have to question your own mindset and the way you're thinking. Because if you want to build an art business, you can't think like the broke, starving artist. You can't continue to think in that way, right? So I've got off track, but I think it's an important point to make. So, Bob Ross, Bill Alexander I was talking about, okay? So Bill Alexander, he developed a method of painting that in his mind was superior to other methods that he had been taught, more traditional oil painting methods. And he started to develop a product range to help him be able to create paintings quicker, easier, and in his opinion, better than what he was doing before. And that method was so powerful that people started coming to him, can you show me how to do it as well? And so his mission was all about promoting the Alexander way of painting, which eventually most people would come to know it through Bob Ross. But there was a sense of mission around what they were doing. They weren't just doing painting for painting's sake. It wasn't a hobby. It wasn't an attempt to build an income stream or get overnight fame and money rolling in so they never had to worry about working again. These people are driven by a sense of mission, as I am as well. And what I'm here to suggest to you is if you are an artist right now, and maybe you're struggling to find motivation or a sense of purpose or an alignment in the art market, how do you fit in? Where does your work fit in? And so on. Maybe what you need is to move up a higher level beyond just your art and develop a sense of mission that your art helps you facilitate, right? So maybe it's a social cause or an injustice in the world that you see, and you want to only create art that's going to help promote or raise awareness for that social injustice. You've got to find a bigger purpose than just creating paintings, okay? Now, you don't have to, but this is what will help separate you from the millions and millions of artists that are out there. Because let's face it, right now, it's the greatest time in history for artists, but it's also, there's more artists than ever before. There's millions and millions of artists, right? It's this explosion in people taking up painting and exploring their creativity, and many of them want to go on and become full-time working artists like myself. And it's a very crowded marketplace. You have to find a point of difference. And that point of difference, what I'm sharing with you today, if you embrace and really hear what I'm saying, is that it can't just be about the art if you want to stand out. It's got to have something bigger, a bigger impact, right? It can't just be a transaction between you, the artist, and a collector, right? That's not a big enough, it's not a big enough event to have a great impact and break free of the crowd of artists, right? Because there's lots of artists out there right now who sell a few paintings to collectors or through a gallery, but they don't break through to a high level of success. But the ones who do, generally speaking, I mean, sure, there are a small percentage that are overnight successes and they get discovered or whatever, right? It happens so rarely, it's not even worth considering. But the ones who do break free from the pack, the artists who do stand out, typically are driven and fueled by a sense of purpose or a sense of mission, and it's often something bigger than themselves, right? And their artwork becomes the vehicle to be able to promote or raise awareness or facilitate something bigger, a bigger mission, right? So what I'm here to suggest to you right now is that if you want to really take your whole art practice and your art business to a high level, find a sense of mission. Find something bigger than just you selling a few paintings. If your goal is just to sell a few paintings, you'll achieve that, but you won't have much impact in the world, right? And if you want to create a really successful art business, you need to think about, how am I creating an impact? What legacy am I going to leave? What's the mission? How am I going to positively impact other people around the world? And you can do that through art. That's the great thing about art, right? Find a mission. Find something that fuels and drives you, and you'll elevate your art business to a much higher level. My name is Rod Moore. This is the Art Biz Show. Have an awesome week, and I'll talk to you next week.